Have you ever looked at a game and thought, damn, there must be something extremely awesome happening there. I need to take a look into this game and see if I can pull off those amazing combos. Well, you can, it's just that it's done a bit too many times. So I played a fair amount of this demo on the Xbox One. I've also streamed this game on my Twitch channel. Links down in the description box below, by the way. And there's something about this game that I'm just not really liking. Let me firstly go through the things that I enjoyed from the demo of this game. The graphics of the game look great. The characters all look unique along with their outfits. I like these orange wires that they have got going around them, on top of the red and black uniforms. I'm guessing that this is their uniform since they are all wearing the same theme. I wouldn't mind cosplaying as one of these guys. When you activate any of the SAS abilities, which allows you to imbue yourself with your teammates' powers, and you see the characters quickly appear on screen, it reminds me a lot of Persona, which I'm a fan of, so seeing them appear on screen looks very cool. The cutscene panels make the game look like a mix between reading manga panels and watching cutscenes. To me, it feels slightly unique, but it feels comparable to a game like Persona. I heard that many people complain that the demo has these type of cutscenes, but that might be because they might not have experienced the game that does cutscenes in a visual novel type of way. I'm also pleased by the fact that if you put on any cosmetics that you find in the world, they will appear in the cutscene as well. I was expecting them to not appear in the cutscenes for some reason, so I was surprised to see my character wearing the animal paws that I had equipped. The areas of the game that you run around look alright. It's nothing amazing to me. It's quite similar to the looks of Astral Chain, where you have this sci-fi city with holograms running around the place. It also has a photorealistic look, and I must say, when you take a look at both the surroundings and the characters don't look out of place. As I'm sure you know that they are anime styled, so they have done a great job with making the game look natural with both the photorealistic environments and your anime styled characters. The special effects from your abilities like the psychokinesis, using your weapons, activating the SAS, and other stuff look great as well. It's visually impressive whenever you use fire or electric attacks on your enemies. There's also the move where you perform a brain crush, which is essentially an execution move, and it looks amazing. The whole animation of you destroying an enemy's weak point feels rewarding. The designs of the enemies look very weird, which the developer of this game wanted. They wanted these mutants, named as others, to look unusual. I mean, hey, they got what they wanted, because when I look at them, I literally don't know what I'm looking at. It's just a mix of various body parts from human to animals to plants, and even bits of machinery put all together. Can't really complain with what they've done here, since it is very different. The user interface matches the sci-fi theme, with the health bar looking like heartbeat monitors, along with showcasing what SAS options that you have available. Using items is almost the same as Sekiro or Monster Hunter, where you flick in between your selection of items and then press a button that uses the item that you have on selection. The menu does look messy at first, but it just takes some time to get used to. The brain map, which is essentially your skill tree, is simple as well. I like how the game tells you what each skill does before you purchase it, and it even shows you if it can increase your stats. Another thing that I found interesting about the game is that you get to control two different characters. Beforehand, I simply thought that it's just choosing between different genders, when it's actually the fact that they both have different storylines and combat abilities. You have Yuito, that uses a sword, opting for a more close-range style of combat. And then you have Kasane, that uses knives, opting for a slightly mid-range combat style. They both also have different locations and team members. Yuito has team members that offer pyrokinesis, sclerokinesis, clairvoyance, and teleportation. Kasane has members offering electrokinesis, hypervelocity, duplication, and invisibility. All of these abilities allow the main character to fight against enemies that have unique traits. For example, you activate hypervelocity to fight against the enemies with extreme speed. They do be zooming. Or you activate pyrokinesis to deal fire damage to enemies weak to fire. There's a lot to mess about here, and this is obviously a demo, so there's even more that I haven't even got to play with. The locations, as I've said, are different from each other. Yuito's location is set in a city, with lots of different hidden pathways, and the space are much tighter when compared to Kasane's route. Kasane is placed in a construction site and has more of an open, spacious environment. Both of these environments play pretty well with their combat style. The music of this game is pretty good. Title screen music makes the game sound like the story is going to be depressing with a grand adventure. The music played in the city is quite chilled and relaxing. I could listen to this for hours since I do love me some lo-fi beats. The track played for Kasane at the construction site is a jam. I'd bop to this. I'm a fan. I love jazz. Dude, one time I left the game running and I opened it back up and I got slapped in the face with that smooth jazz. It's so good. The battle music sounds like a mix of dubstep and EDM to make the fights feel hyperactive. Not really a fan of it, but I can live with it. Now what about the story? Well, since this is only the demo of the game, I feel like it threw me in somewhere in the middle of the story or somewhere else because it's definitely not an introduction to the game. It's very hard to figure out what the story is from the demo, so I can't really say much, other than the fact that the interactions with each of the characters is what you would expect from an anime. Just a group of friends in this futuristic world. There's also something called bond level that is not really present in the demo. The game does say that you can deepen the bond with your allies by doing a bunch of activities. For example, you can talk to them at the hideout. The hideout is not available in the demo. When you deepen your bond with your teammates, you're able to gain new abilities to use in combat. So I guess if you're a person interested in the characters and their backgrounds, then this game is for you. It's very similar to how it is done in Persona, where you perform relationships with the characters, which in turn can help you in combat situations. The demo already gives you a couple of abilities for each team member, which is why I said the bond level is not really present in the demo. It's there, but it's already being given to you to some extent. Okay. What is it about this game that I don't like? I've pretty much said a lot of great things about this game, but there's just something about this game that I don't really like, and that is the combat. Now don't get me wrong, the combat is very fluid. Let's actually look into the combat. The tutorial of this game teaches you how to fight, and from the get-go it tells you your first combo, which is by pressing X 3 times. These X attacks are basically your light attacks. After that, it tells you that you can perform an attack by pressing X and A to launch enemies upwards. Pressing Y will do a special attack depending on your character. If it's Yueto, he will do an attack that hits a wide area around you. If it's Kasane, she will do an attack that moves you away from wherever you're facing. The special attack can only be done once per combo, but the game says that you can increase the amount of times it can be used by learning other skills. The other skills are not present in the demo. Both the X and Y attacks help charge up the psychokinesis gauge, which is the bar above your health bar. The X button restores the gauge a little bit, whereas the Y button attacks will restore a lot more. Psychokinesis attacks are done by holding RT, which throws any object that can be thrown towards the enemy. Additionally, these attacks can be done at any time during your combos. These attacks are basically used to help chain your attacks. If you chain them perfectly, you can deal heavy damage. This is where the problem lies for me. Basically, this game is telling me that I can only perform the X attacks 3 times and Y once, and press RT to loop back into pressing X 3 times again and again until the enemy is dead. I find that extremely boring. There's also the fact that if I damage the enemy enough to reveal their weak point, I can just press the execution button to instantly win the fight. Not only that, but there's another move called Assault Vision that lets me deal massive damage when the enemy's guard is down, which normally means that they die after me doing an Assault Vision, because at that point the enemy's health is already half gone. The combat feels too easy or too simple. Even with the abilities to change the element of your attacks, if you are expecting to pull off fancy combos like in other hack and slash games like Devil May Cry or Monster Hunter, then don't expect that here. To me, I got bored of combat. I've listened to a couple of other people who have also reviewed the demo of the game, and they praised the combat quite highly for it having fluid and addictive combat. However, all I'm seeing is that you just press X 3 times and then Y and then RT and loop back again. I know that the demo does not show what the rest of the game would entail. On the other hand, when I think about the fact that there might not be a different combo than pressing X 3 times, it does get me a bit worried about the full game. I should also mention that there's another psychokinesis move which can only be done on special objects. This move basically adds on another button input. These commands change based on the object. It's nothing really special in my opinion. All it is doing is just adding a quick time event on top of you normally fighting an enemy. You can also evade attacks, and when done in time with a monster's attack, you can perform a counter. I find the evade a bit too slow after doing an attack. It feels like the evade does not cancel your attack animations at times, which can be a problem when you really want to dodge out of an attack. Other than that, combat is quite simple, which can be great for any player looking for an easy combat system that is not too complex. However, if you're like me, expecting to do some crazy combos with a complex combat system, then this ain't it. Now the big question is, will I get the game, or should you get the game? For me, I think it's a skip. For a game that looks like it will have a deep combat system, it sure doesn't look like it. Now I know I might be wrong since I am basing my opinion on the demo, however it just feels to me that the combat is, as I've said, simple, which I didn't expect. I just hope that I'm wrong with what I've said here when it comes to the full game, but from the demo, the combat is not it. Now if you're a person looking for a possible deep storyline and you don't care too much for the combat, then I'd say go for it. The characters look cool and fun. None of them seem like an annoying character to listen to. In fact, I would love to know more about Kasane, or even some of the side characters like Arashi. She looks like a chilled, laid-back character that I would hang out with. Additionally, I would like to know what the hell is going on in this world, with all the powers and these weird monsters. Sadly for me, I was more intrigued in the combat, but maybe I set my expectations a bit too high. Basically, get the game for the story, and maybe for the combat, if you enjoy hacking your enemies in this way. Also, you should play the demo for yourself, you get a feel for it, and there's also an item that you can bring into the full game, so there's that little bonus. And you should check out the anime as well, if you really want to dive into the story of this game. So be sure to check that out. That's it from me. I hope you guys found the video useful in some way. Give it a like if you did, and subscribe to the channel. I would love to do maybe some more videos like this. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. You should also follow me on my Twitch. Link is down in the description box below, where I play games live, just like this. I played this game live, gave my thoughts on it, but I guess this is more of a in-depth thought of it, and more constructive thought. So anyway, be sure to check me out on Twitch. It's nice. It's a nice place where I can, chat to you there. And you should follow me on my Twitter for any other channel updates. Thank you guys for watching, and I shall see you guys later. This is so bad. Ah! Everything hurts. Please, one of you just die. I can't live like this.